The interview had been going on for hours, and Claire Valentine, the nation's most beloved actress, was absolutely exhausted. She was so tired of the same old, shallow questions. Leaning back in her chair, she flashed her signature, perfect smile at the sea of reporters. "So tell us," one journalist called out, "when will you finally settle down? The whole country is dying to know who you'll marry." Claire let out a practiced laugh, flipping her perfect curls over her shoulder. "Fine," she declared, a playful glint in her eye. "I'll make it interesting. I'll marry the next fan who walks through that door." The room erupted in laughter. Everyone assumed it was a joke. Cameras flashed, pens scribbled furiously, and somewhere in the back, her publicist let out a long, weary sigh, already dreading the headlines this would create. Claire, ever the dramatic one, thought nothing of it. It was just another soundbite, another way to keep things interesting. But then, the heavy door at the back of the room creaked open. In walked a girl. She was wearing ripped jeans, messy sneakers, and a hoodie that looked at least 2 sizes too big. She clutched a crumpled ticket from the fan meet and greet that had ended an hour ago, looking like she'd completely wandered in by mistake. The entire room fell silent. You could hear a pin drop. Claire's smile faltered, her practiced mask slipping for just a moment. For the very first time in her long and storied career, she had no idea how to perform. She was speechless. The girl's name was Maya, and she wasn't supposed to be there at all. She'd been late to the fan event, and her heart had sunk when the security guard told her she'd missed her chance to meet her idol. Dejected, she had wandered down the hallway, pushed open what she thought was an exit, and stumbled straight into a full-blown press conference. Instantly, every camera in the room swiveled to face her. The journalists started buzzing with excitement. This was a story falling right into their laps. Claire Valentine had just declared on the record that she'd married the next fan to walk in, and here she was. A disheveled, ink-stained 20-something girl in torn denim. Maya froze, caught in the blinding glare of the lights. Sorry," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "Am I interrupting something?" Claire quickly cleared her throat, trying to regain her composure. "No, not at all." She stood up, her high heels clicking sharply against the polished floor as she began to walk toward the bewildered girl. Her heart was hammering against her ribs. She had said the words as a joke, a throwaway line, but now, seeing this girl standing in front of her, so utterly real and out of place, everything else in the room suddenly felt fake. The tabloids, of course, exploded overnight. The headlines were insane. Created Valentine's mystery girl in jeans engagement hoax or true love. Maya's phone started ringing off the hook. She wasn't a celebrity. She was a struggling art student, working late nights at a coffee shop just to make rent. Being yanked into Hollywood's blinding spotlight was the absolute last thing she ever expected or wanted. The next day, Claire herself called. "I'm so sorry about all this chaos," she said, her voice soft and surprisingly hesitant. "I never, ever thought someone would actually walk in. You must hate me." But Maya didn't hate her. Not at all. She was curious. She had grown up watching Claire's movies, always seeing her as this untouchable, almost mythical figure. But now, hearing her on the phone, she realized Claire sounded nervous. She sounded human. "Maybe we should meet," Maya found herself saying, surprising even herself. They met at a small, quiet cafe, far from the prying eyes of the paparazzi. Claire arrived wearing a huge pair of sunglasses and a scarf, but Maya spotted her instantly. You don't blend in very well, do you? Maya teased, a small smile playing on her lips. Claire laughed, and a wave of relief washed over her face. I guess I'm not very good at being normal, she admitted. Maya took a sip of her coffee. So, do you make marriage proposals to random fans often? Claire's cheeks flushed a deep red. Never. It was just supposed to be a joke. A stupid joke. But when you walked in, She trailed off, unsure how to explain the strange feeling that had gripped her, the way her chest had tightened, the way her practiced Hollywood smile had completely vanished. Maya tilted her head, her gaze steady. But when I walked in, you froze. Yes, Claire whispered, looking down at her hands. I froze. In that moment, for the first time in years, Claire Valentine wasn't the actress, the star, or the character everyone wanted her to be. She was just a woman, staring at another woman who had somehow made the entire world fall quiet around them. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of secret meetings. Claire's sprawling mansion was too obvious a location, so Maya would sneak her into her own tiny, cluttered apartment. They'd sit cross-legged on the floor, sharing cheap instant noodles and laughing at terrible old movies. They talked about things Claire had never dared to share with anyone: her fears, her dreams, the loneliness that came with fame. You make me feel real, Claire confessed one night, her voice thick with emotion as they looked out at the city lights from Maya's small window. And you make me feel seen, Maya answered softly, her fingers gently brushing against Claire's. But their bubble of privacy couldn't last forever. The world was still watching. Paparazzi caught them leaving a bookstore, their hands intertwined. The headlines screamed even louder this time. Claire's manager was furious. This will ruin your career. He warned her, the public wants you with a handsome movie star, not a girl in ripped jeans. You're America's sweetheart. Claire hesitated. Her entire life, her entire identity had been built on applause, on playing the part that people wanted her to play. Could she really throw all of that away? But then she looked at Maya, at her honest eyes and her genuine smile, and she knew she already had her answer. At her next press event, the cameras flashed brighter and more aggressively than ever before. The question everyone was waiting for was inevitable. Claire, who is the girl? Are the rumors true? Claire took a deep, steadying breath. Across the room, she saw Maya standing at the edge of the crowd, nervously chewing on her lip, looking like she was ready to bolt if things went wrong. Then Claire smiled, but it wasn't the practiced, perfect Hollywood smile. It was a real one, reaching all the way to her eyes. Yes, she said, her voice clear and firm, silencing the entire room. The rumors are true. Her name is Maya. She walked into my life when I least expected it. And if you want the honest-to-God truth, she's the one I'd marry. Gasps echoed through the room. Journalists started shouting questions all at once. But Claire didn't care. She didn't hear any of it. She walked straight through the chaos, over to Maya, and took her hand, pulling her close. The world could spin however it wanted. For the first time, Claire Valentine wasn't acting. She was in love. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.